Hello everyone, my name is Yao, one of the tutors at Programmer Central. In 5 minutes, we're going to learn how to program a character to move. We will also try to animate it a bit. So let's dive in. Real quick, what we are going to want to do first is to get rid of the cat character because we're going to need a different character. Since we don't want to spend way too much time on this, we are going to pick an existing character from here. Let's go with the every working character, the sprite. And what we are going to want to do first is, let's try to reduce the size of it. Right, I'm going to make it 70. And once I have it at 70, right, all we want to do now is to make it move. So how do we do that? How do you actually tell the computer, hey, I want you to make my character move. I want the character to go forward. I want it to go backwards. How do you do that? Right now, in every project, there's a button you press for the project to begin. Right, we are going to need to find that in our project also. Right, in our case, what we are going to be doing is we're going to use this green flag here as a start button. So that is also not automated, right? We actually have to make a program for that to happen. What we're going to do is we go here where it says event, and we can pick this block here. That is when the green flag is clicked, right? So anything else we put after the green flag will only happen when we press the green flag. So real quick, let's do this. Once we have the block here, right, what we're going to do is also just notice when you press on the green flag now, nothing is really going to happen, right? The character is just going to be there because you haven't really said anything. All you said was that when I click on the green flag, right? So when I click on the green flag, what exactly do you want it to do? Now, when you look up here, there are some different blocks with different colors. It says motion, looks, and so many more, right? But let's focus on motion since we want the character to move. Now, the first block in motion says move 10 steps. So you're probably thinking, well, yeah, if you want the character to move, then move 10 steps is what you need. And you were right. All right, so let's pick it, move 10 steps. And if I put it here and I click on the green flag, whoa, the character is moving, right? So you were right. If you guessed that, you were right. Kudos. So let's say this. I'm going to click on the green flag again. And each time I click on it, you're going to notice the character moves forward, right? But the problem is the character only moves when we click on the green flag, which is not exactly what we want, right? We want the character to just move and keep moving once the green flag has been clicked, right? Now, to do this, again, like I said, in every project, right, there's a button you press for the game to begin. Now, if it has a beginning, then it has an end, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to say that from the start of the game to the end of the game, we want the character to actually keep moving. And in Scratch here, we have a block that actually says that, right? Basically, what that is doing in any other programming language, we will say we are putting it in a loop, right? We are going to loop the action. Now, in our case, we're actually going to loop it here also. We are going to pick the block that says forever. And since it's the movement that we want to loop, we are going to put the move 10 steps inside of the forever. So now when I put it here, we click on the green flag, we are going to notice the character moves forward, right? So yeah, we got that part done. Now, I know there are a whole bunch of stuff wrong with this because we do have a character moving, but it's not really moving like an actual person would really move, right? So let's fix that real quick. Also, it's pretty annoying. I have to always pick the character back here and all of that. That is pretty annoying. So let's make a code here. Let's say that anytime we press on the green flag, we actually want the character to go back to the start instead of me picking it up myself, right? So where in our code does it say when the green flag is clicked? Now, I'm going to give you just a second. Try to see where in the code does it say when the game begins. All right, so let's continue. If you guessed, right, let me show you and let's see if you had the same guess as I did. So over here, we say when the green flag is clicked, right? So that is when the game begins. When the green flag is clicked is when the game begins. So right after that, we want to say that we want the character to come here, right? So let's pick the character, come put the character here. And when we go to motion, the fifth block in motion, that says go to XY, it actually has the coordinates of the character. So we are just going to pick it with a coordinate connected to when the green flag is clicked and then put it here. So we join them. So now when you click on the green flag, the character moves forward. But then when I stop it and I click on the green flag again, you see, it comes back and then goes again. Right? It will always come back, which is what we wanted to get because I didn't want to keep pressing, picking it back. All right. So once we have that done, let's try to make it look better. Right? But before we do that, real quick, if you were wondering why it says move 10 steps, right? The 10, it's actually talking about the pixels that the character is moving, right? It's in our project, let's just think about it as the speed. Okay. So if you make it 1, let's check out something. I click on the green flag. Once it's 1, check out slow the character is moving. Now if I increase it to 2, I start again. It moves faster than before. Now let me change it to 3. Let's see. Right. So I think you guys already get what this means, right? It works as a speed for the character, right? Now we are going to actually let's just stick with 1. Now I know it's probably too slow, but let's just stick with 1. Now once we have it like this, right? Like I said, we want to make it more lively, right? It looks like it's just being pushed. It looks more like it's gliding, and we don't really want that. We want the character to actually move, to take a step, right? So that is when we actually do a bit of some animation. All right. Now, when you are moving, or when any other person is moving, right, they take a step forward, and then the other foot forward again, right? 1 foot backwards, 1 foot forward, like that. All right. Now, when we go to costumes here, we are going to notice that all of those frames are already here, right? The taking a foot forward frame and then a foot backwards frame are all here, right? 1 foot forward, 1 foot backwards, right? So all those frames are here, which is what we needed. It's just frame after frame after frame, and then you can just make your animation, right? So what we are going to do here is we are simply going to say that when our game begins, so again, let's say again, that when our game begins, right, that from the start of the game to the end of the game, right, we want to say after every, let's try this. Let's say that after every second. Now after every second, what we are going to say is that we want to move to the next frame. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's see how it works. So I click on the green flag, and I'm going to notice it is working, right? Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it properly. It is working. The character is moving, but it's a bit slow, right? In my opinion. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to say after every second. I'm going to say after every, let me make it 0.5, right? Now when I make it 0.5, let me make it bigger. Let me click on the green flag, and let's try that again. Now it looks much better than before, right? It looks definitely much better than before. So let's try this. What if I make it into, instead of a 0.5, what if I change it to 0.3? Now let me click on the green flag. Yeah, I think this is great, right? I think this is great. So we're gonna stick with this, and then we have our character moving, right? She's moving, right? She's just moving there, and it looks good actually. Super. But now we have a problem. It's stuck there, right? Now it's stuck because there is no more space. There's a whole bunch of space there, right? But it's just, we cannot see the space there. And so if the character is just looking like that, it's looking like as if there's a wall there and it's just being blocked, right? So what we are going to do is we're actually going to go to here, and then we can pick a backdrop, right? We can pick a background. So let's go with the blue sky first. And once we have the blue sky, let's actually pick the character. Let's come put the character here, on here. And once we have it there, we are definitely going to need to change the coordinates, because now we have it at a new place. We want it to be on the ground. So we're going to put this there. And now when I click on the green flag, right, it looks good. It actually looks like it's working on it. All right. Now to fix the problem of it getting stuck at the far right, what we are going to do is I'm going to go pick another backdrop. This time around, I'm going to go pick the backdrop with a name. Let's see, which one should we go with? We can go with school. Yeah, let's go with school. Now, once we have the school backdrop, I'm just going to add a bit of code to this and say that, to this particular one, I'm going to say that I don't just want it to move one step, right? But I'm going to give a condition, right? In programming, we have something called conditionals, which if you're not getting here, don't worry. In our lessons, hopefully you join us soon, right? So when you join us, we are going to cover all of those. You're going to get all of those. Don't worry about it. But let's see this. So we're going to make a condition here, and then we are going to say that if the character reaches the far right, right? We want the backdrop to change to the next one. And then we want the character to move here, right? To move back here, for it to look like it's still continuing, right? The motion is just continuing. We don't want it to look weird there. So what we're going to do is, let's do this. I say if then, I'm going to say if the X position of the character, right? Again, if this is confusing you, don't worry. We are going to cover that in our lessons. So I'm going to say if the X position is greater than 220, then all I want to do is I want to say that I want the backdrop to go to the next one. Not only that, but I want the character to go to where it usually begins from, right? So now let's try that. I click on the green flag. Now my character is going to be walking. Yeah, it goes. Beautiful. That looks good actually. So we have our character. Let me make it bigger so we all can see clearly. Now it goes. Now there's I'm going to remove this blank one from there. But real quick, let's just go with it and see how it works. So it goes, it gets there. And then, yeah, right? So again, let me just go to the backdrops and then go remove the blank one, which is the first one, the white one. I'm going to remove it. So I'll just leave the school and then the blue sky backdrop, right? So now when I stop it, make my screen bigger. I click on the green flag. Now we have our character moving, right? We have our character moving. So this is just a short animation. You can call it an animation on how to make the character move, because over here we are not controlling the character using maybe the arrow keys or the WASD, right? The character is just moving because that is what we programmed it to do, right? It's moving forward. And then we made the backdrop also change. Okay, make the backdrop change. So guys, today we are going to pause here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you understood it. And we all hope to see you in our lesson soon. All right. So have a great day.